This morning we finished our 10th practice of the year. We've had a really good fall. September was good for us. August was good for us as we were able to take the team to Puerto Rico. So I really like the position we're in now. We're continuing to get better. And this will be that's the challenge for this week, is to get better, because we had a good week the first week, and the second week we had a great week. We have 4 weeks left. We have a scrimmage in 2 weeks. We have a scrimmage in 3 weeks, and we tip 4 weeks from tonight.
So after these 10 practices, what are you seeing that maybe going to Puerto Rico helped? Where?
Just we're closer together. We've got a really tight bond with this group, and everyone gets along. We share the basketball. We celebrate others' success, and I think that part of it really helped us. Plus the opportunity to play and have freshmen play in the game, newcomers come play for the first time.
Who did you see, I guess, kind of stand out the most in that time in Puerto Rico, and how are you expecting that particular player or position group to kind of transition into the season?
I think Jordan averaged double-double, maybe 17 and 12 in limited minutes. Had one really big scoring game. Chancellor White played well the last day and really did a good job. He had a really good day today at practice on his birthday. I told him I wish he had a birthday more often. But there were several guys that stepped up. Mike Thomas played well in Puerto Rico. Jalen played well. Themis Fulks played well. Vince Sagona played well. And Joe Charles played well before he got hurt, and then had to have surgery upon the return.
Coach, talk about Thomas and Themis. Like, how do you see that kind of playing out?
Well, it's day to day. I mean, it's competition. Both of them are doing extremely well. Both had really good days today. Thought Themis had his best week last week, and they're different. Mike's got more speed, more change of direction, and Themis is a little bit stronger and is good at bullying his way to the basket at times. And both of them are doing a good job passing the ball, running the team, and defensively.
Coach, I remember Kobe got hurt towards the back end of the season around tournament time. What's his status right now, and how much are you expecting him to be able to kind of finish what he started on the back half of that season?
We're excited. We feel good about it. He had ironically told our trainer that afternoon that of the last game at Georgia State, that looks like I made it through a whole season. And 6 minutes in, he didn't. So he's not played a whole season yet. He won't play one this time. But he is well ahead of schedule. Has been shooting and running for the last probably 6 weeks. And he will be worked into practice starting the 1st of December.
So you're thinking maybe about conference?
Yes. We feel like he can play before that, but depending on doctor's orders. I believe the surgery was March 18th, maybe.
So when you look at the players that left at the end of last season and what you have coming in, how do you feel like all those holes and filling holes, and are you better there, not as good there, or is it different? How do you look at all that?
Well, we feel that we're better in most areas. We lost 2 good inside players in Theo Akuba and then Duguay to graduation. Both graduated, actually, this spring. But Terrence Lewis has been a big impact. He's a guy we did not have in Puerto Rico, and he came here when school started. He's a grad transfer from Jackson State, a guy that we'd originally recruited, and he's done a really good job. He and Joe Charles give us a lot of skill at the 4 spot, whereas Duguay was more of a rebounder, defensive guy, could guard either 3, 4, or 5. So that's a little bit different with the new guys. And then Kyron Ratliff's done a good job, getting in late and was able to practice a week before we went to Puerto Rico. And he's done a good job. He had a good day today in practice. And then, of course, Themis, Chancellor, and Vince are the other newcomers, and they've all done well.
So the Lewis, what's his skill set?
Very efficient. I think in SWAC play last year, once they had some dismissals on their team, he stepped up and started, and in SWAC play, I want to say he had averaged right at 11 and a half, 8 rebounds a game, and shot mid-60s from the floor,
But I mean,
and 78 from the line. So he can stretch it to 3, but he's just a good player. He's a good rebounder, too, really good rebounder and good scorer.
So he can really play more facing the basket.
Yes.
I guess Jalen kind of started to come on a little bit more towards the back half of the season as well. How have you seen him grow as a player, and what are your expectations for him this year?
Well, we expect him to be a leader, to be one of our better perimeter shooters, a guy that can score in bunches. I want him to continue to be healthy. Last year he had some Achilles struggles. I think from Kevin's article just pointed that out, that he didn't rehab and do the things that we really told him to do, and kind of hurt him. And then he felt sorry for himself for a minute, but came back and did a really good job for us down the stretch. High ankle sprain too at Houston, held him out. Then you guys remember the COVID. We opened the season just like I wasn't in Boone. Those guys were there, but were at the hotel, so he missed those games. But we expect him to be consistent, continue to lead, and help this team.
What's the realistic kind of ceiling from after last season, and we saw us play for Greg? Well, how do you kind of see?
Well, we see him as an all-conference player. We did last year. He had his struggles at times, kept working. Give him a ton of credit. He pushed through, and when we needed him down the stretch, he was there and stepped up, made the all-tournament team. So we have high expectations for Greg, and think that if he's somewhat of an X factor. One of the magazines had Kobe as the X factor, but we feel like it's Greg. And we need him to step up. He's been great in practice, done a really good job. Didn't shoot the ball well in Puerto Rico, but did everything else well. And really has done a good job leading this team. Speaking of that, we've got all-conference media day next week. I hope you guys can be there, tune in. Jordan and I will head over to New Orleans, and a week from Wednesday, I guess, is when we have our day. And the preseason polls are being voted on right now, or been voted on. We're going to vote on all conference and also preseason player of the year. So Jordan made all conference last year. Kobe made all conference. Greg made all tournament. So, we feel like those 3 guys will get a lot of play in the poll.
How has Isaiah, obviously his season ended prematurely last year, but he stayed about as involved on the bench as I've ever seen anyone who was in that situation. And how is he? Where do you see him?
He's done a good job for us. We got back from Puerto Rico. He had a good summer, worked really hard, was starting to make some progress, and certainly did a good job academically, which was the most important thing, to put himself in this position. But we got back in September, and the first week he broke his thumb, and he had to have a pin put in his thumb, and that's limited him. And to be honest, today was his first day of practice, so he missed the first 9.
So should be okay for the start of the season?
Yeah, he's good. He's cleared. Joe Charles had his first practice today too, so we had 12 bodies instead of 10, which we missed Carter. I can promise you that.